kickstart the AI Builder series today. This is, I'll bring him on board very quickly, but this is for Mahesh's cohort, with Mahesh's community, and I'll quickly introduce him in a few seconds. But very quickly about the AI Builder series, this is going to be a 4 to 6 session series every Monday, the same day, the same time, every week. So make sure you might mark your calendars. The idea is to bring someone every week on board, someone from Mahesh's community who has done the course with me, and look under the hood of what they built. So we'll go through, we have curated this course in a way that we cover good number of front-end tools such as Flowwise, Langflow, N8, etc., and a good number of, good number of backend tools and a good number of front-end tools like Lovable, Bold, Triplet, etc. So really excited for this. And unfortunately, because this is LinkedIn Live, I have no view of who has joined. I cannot see you. So please, please, please keep this interactive. If you can hear me well, if you can see me well, please give me a few comments so that I can look at your comments and take it forward. With that, bringing Mahesh to the stage. Hi,
Great.
Mahesh.
You knew that I'm here. I was like,
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
can
Thank you,
see
first
that.
of all, for taking the initiative. I'm very happy and lucky to be here. Uh, Maybe a quick introduction. So, I'm Mahesh. I met Divya through our community, and I teach a course on Maven. But before that, I worked at Google, Microsoft, at AWS, and that's my claim to fame. But actually, I'm building something of my own. That's a quick introduction to me. I'm teaching, I don't know since when. I was telling somebody that I used to teach at high school when I was at Microsoft through a TEALS program. I think that was officially, I was teaching high schoolers CS course. And then I went into teaching inside Microsoft AI courses, then Meta, and then actually I started on Maven. So that's where the Divya is talking about a cohort. That's the cohort of people in Maven. So if you go to maven.com and backslash Mahesh, you will find me. But this is not about that. This is about Divya and this initiative that she has taken. So one thing that I've seen is that the tide towards product managers or program managers who can actually build prototypes is becoming real. Yesterday, another person pasted a Reddit post where they said Google interviewer actually stopped and asked them about vibe coding a idea that they were pitching, and he couldn't do it. He went into LangChain and all, but couldn't solve that problem, and then eventually ended up not getting a call. So it's that real that Google has a very standard process, and if that standard process requires vibe coding, building on your ideas become an essential skill. And I think that tide has landed now. So with that, Divya came up with this idea of starting a builder-specific series. We have always build things in the cohort, and we start with very basic things, which are how can you build a front end with Langflow? You can, sorry, front end with V0 Dev and back end with Langflow. And then we, in the end, we said, how can you connect? And then we saw a lot of challenges after that, like how you connect Superbase. Oh, but Superbase is connected, but how can I read it from the front to the end? And we could only solve like half of those in the cohort. And then Divya wanted to continue that and start her own initiative. And obviously, we are so lucky that she just didn't thought about it, actually took the first step. So I'm so lucky that we are here and all of you are here. Pranav is here, Sham is here, and Santhan is here. All these people are from cohort. But hopefully this is goes beyond the cohort. I think that's Divya's uh, real reach is that okay, we have done the few things, we can share what we learned, but also take it one step forward and help every PM or every program manager or everybody who wants to build in AI build it together and empower them with the support and community help that is needed here.
Thank you, Mahesh. I had a proper introduction for you, which I, in my nervousness, forgot to do. And I just assumed people would know you because we have our
Let's
community
see.
joining in from everywhere. But guys, Mahesh runs this amazing agentic AI PM course. Everything I know about AI and my interest in it. all thanks to him. So do check out its link. I have posted it on my post, and he runs this very active Slack community, which is where I met all these amazing people, and he nurtures that community really well. So do join the community as well. Thank you, Mahesh. Thank you very much. I wanted to today's session, everyone, just a quick note. Today's session is going to be a little different because I have two distinguished product leaders. We have Mahesh now. In some time, I would be introducing Harsha. I do want to pick their brains a little before we get into the building part. So please pardon me. But Mahesh, you have been a product leader for so long. And you were most recently at Google, and you mentioned something around, how building skills are have become so important today. Are there specific roles where they become absolutely critical, and how do you, in interviews, how do you sort of navigate around it?
Yeah, I think there are a few things that you need for getting past interview, and then there are a few things that you need to be successful in your role. And let's take like something that I'm close to. Like let's say I've been a developer for 15 years and did product for last 4 or 5 years. So let's talk about both the roles, right? If you're a software developer today, there's a huge pressure for you to iterate faster. People are saying, hey, why are you not writing tests automatically? Why can't you just build it in a day, which you used to take 3 weeks? And then they're saying, hey, on top of it, why are you not evaluating your own work? Why are you giving us these boring tests that you used to have? Here is like, I saw this session and seems like evaluation is like an automated world. There is an LMS judge for everything. So these things are suddenly become in 2025 like talks of town, and everybody's putting a lot of pressure on engineers to iterate fast. So that's one thing that we have seen with Windsurf, Cursor, and tools. Because if you see like 2023, 2024, what worked with the AI or this new Gen AI thing is you can do Q&A well, which is a disruptor for search. But in early, I will say end of 2024 or early 2025, we saw code agents to work. And that has unlocked a lot of productivity, especially in the tech sector. And you have seen every company publishing these numbers that, hey, 30% of our code is written by agent and all that. And that has put a lot of pressure from top down to every software engineer that, hey, why are you not using AI? Because that has become a default configuration or requirement by the top. And AI always had that challenge that pushing it from bottom always was hard. I've seen it for last 10 years, but now it's coming from the top. And you are being asked to say, hey, if you're looking for a new rack, why can't you make current five engineer 20% efficient and produce worth like sixth engineer rather than getting funded? So that's about that role and evolution of that role. About product managers, I think product manager always wanted to be like do more than what they're supposed to do, especially around bringing their ideas to high fidelity. And they are somehow unbounded or unlocked with specially lovable, I think lovable or V0. I don't know, means our community N8N and Langflow became like such a common talk. I've not seen that happen like a lot of product managers, but I think lovable. Like earlier, what if you want, you had an idea, you'd write your PR FAQ or PRD, but after that, you wait for your UX. But now you can just paste your one pager into lovable and you get a very good UX. And then you start iterating with it. And instead of building Figma frames, you can have a working prototype of your idea. And now you go to presentations to customers or leadership or your engineering stakeholders, and you can show them working. And if they have a feedback, you can turn around within the call. And I think that has changed the role a lot. And that has changed the expectation from the role as well. And one thing that I saw, and maybe some PMs will resonate with it, is that most of the teams that you will work with, although you have done the course or you have learned these skills, the teams are still working with the old tools or tool chains. And they may not know a lot about AI because there is a transformation happening inside these companies. And these people are building some back-end feature before this. And now they put it into this AI incubator. And to be honest, just telling them just move fast is not going to help them. You have to handhold them and take them to the new era. And if you can build the first prototype, it's a very good PM who engineers want to work with. And if when they run into issues, you can actually help them and show them. I think that's becoming a thing. And I think the boundaries between these two are blurring, and you're looking at more like product managers doing half of engineering work and engineers doing half of the product work, because they are saying, if I work with the customer and if I can iterate like in 24 hours, do I need a product manager to wait like 3 months and find these gaps and then write PIDs? So that's the kind of uh, unbundling and bundling happening in our field every day.
Yep. Thank you, Mahesh. Thank you very much for that. I just have one to two quick pointers to add. I know a lot of IT people in IT services where client demanded putting in NA10, replacing Python code with NA10 because then they can work around with it. You know, if they are a little technically oriented, at least the orchestration engine, not the core engine. And that has been a very surprising shift for myself because we know the limitations of these low code, no code tools, but the shift is happening and really excited for it. Thank you, Mahesh. Thank you very much. Um, excited for this.
Yeah, super excited, and don't feel nervous. Like if this first one goes like this, I think people know what we are doing, and just
Yeah.
feel like, Chill, you're doing great, and you're doing something for the community. So don't feel like you have to follow a script or something. Just go. You can't be worse than me.
Thank
You
you
have
for
full
the
support.
kind.
No,
Thank you,
you'll do great,
Mahesh.
Divya.
Yeah. See you later. Bye.
Bye. See ya.
Um, all right. So now I bring quickly moving on to the next segment. I bring on stage Harsha. Hi, Harsha. How are you doing?
Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm doing
So
good.
great, great. So let me quickly introduce Harsha. I met Harsha through Mahesh's community again. He is another distinguished product leader with 20 years behind him in the most recent years with AI startups. Don't smile, Harsha. Don't be humble. He's also recently started mentoring with AI for All, which is a non-profit organization working towards the next generation of AI innovation. So really excited to have you here, Harsha. To, today we are going to focus on AI voice agents. That is what this session is going to be about, and that is why I brought Harsha on board because he's doing a lot in that space. Um, how do you want to do this, Harsha? Should I fire away my questions to you, or how do you want it?
Yeah, let me start by saying it's awesome. It's awesomely flattering of you, but I don't have 20 years of experience. So
You don't? I counted wrong. I'm so
somewhat
sorry.
a little bit less than that. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, so I mean, I've been working in the AI product management field for about 7 to 8 years. I started with IBM and IBM Watson. I was heading up a division, a joint initiative with Cognizant Technology Labs in Watson for insurance domain. So I started off with that. Before that, I had a data architect and data architect work experience. So in the field of AI ML, I worked with Apple in their Apple Care division, doing some service ticket intelligence. I worked quite a bit in the IoT field in the areas of smart farms, transportation, fleet management, and in a surveillance, and I worked with some governments of Abu Dhabi. Right now, I'm working with a small data center company called NanoKernel. So I'm into building what they call AI micro data centers, which is a data center in a box, and they are very focused on IoT, leveraging my IoT background. So the new initiative is to work with AIoT agents, that is, agents that will work in the real physical world and affect actions and decisions there. So far, we have agents in the digital world and doing digital and process stuff, but these are agents that are going to be working in real life. Like, for example, if they detect a gas leak in a chemical refinery plant, these autonomous agents will take the necessary actions to stop the gas leak or do whatever it takes to send alerts. Anyway, that's a very new field. That's what I'm trying to work on. Now, apart from that, I have some, I believe in continuous learning and upskilling. So this voice AI agent that I'm doing is purely a passion kind of a thing. and slightly evolving into humanoid robots, which is something that also I do. So because voice is part of that. So when I heard about this, and yes, I'm part of Mahesh's community, I said, let me do something different. Let me share something which which many people say, and I'm sure Mahesh would also say that, is that the voice AI agents are the next hot thing. And venture companies like Andreessen Horowitz, Greylock Partners, they're very gung ho about AI voice agents. And when I saw the latest Y Combinator 2025 call for startups, and the startups also, there's quite a few voice AI agents. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So I'll be showing you a demo and of some voice AI agents that I've built, and also share some thoughts which I put down in a presentation. That sounds good, Divyash. Can I go ahead?
Definitely, Harsha. I do want to unpack this a bit more clearly before we get into the demo. Um, you said this is AI voice agents. Sorry, AI voice agents is trending a lot. Um, I've always wondered what has changed under the hood, and I haven't been able to bring myself up to date on that. But till some time back, we were very comfortable with text, and then suddenly compute and infra costs became much simpler for AI voice agents, and now we see this boom in AI voice agents. So what essentially led to that shift? How did that come around?
Yeah, let's look at it from two angles. One is from the user and business perspective, and let another's from the technology perspective. So, from the tech perspective, voice AI agents depend on speech recognition. So, the speech to text and text to speech technologies have become so good and so accurate that today natural conversations are possible. You can talk to your Amazon Alexa device. You can talk to ChatGPT through voice mode. It almost sounds very realistic, and it opens up the possibility that you can have an entity that your human users can converse with what comes naturally: speech, talk, conversations, and dialogues. So that's where it's heading at. And the other thing which I see is that users want to interact with entities, but not necessarily enamored of the AI tag behind it. So that I mean, for reasons, valid reasons or not, a lot of people are AI resistant, and I could even come out and say AI Luddites. So you know what Luddites mean. So, but if you think about it, what if you can have an experience with a digital entity that sounds almost human, like you're talking to a human, right?
Yeah.
Now, when I did my master's thesis at Urbana Champaign, my thesis was on speech recognition, and it wasn't at all anywhere close to what we are seeing here. And,
Yeah.
and and the other thing is we are able to develop these intelligent and smart speech applications with the integration of LLMs. That sounds absolutely natural. And you can have conversations, whereas conversations were conversation trees before. Conversational AI speech was basically hard coded with dialogue trees, responses, intents, and things. But today, as I will show you, you can develop some applications so quickly in a very low code, no code way, and you can start having dialogues, right? You can have therapy chatbots, you can have customer support agents, you can have um, you know avatars and people. You can basically clone someone, right? So if
Yeah.
Divya has a favorite character or a favorite person, you can basically clone them and you can start talking to them.
Yeah.
But that's all only icing on the cake. The real thing is we come to AI applications where users will not even know that they're talking to an AI. They will almost think they're talking to a real live human, which I will showcase to you.
Yeah. Cool, Arsha. Thank you very much. Let's get into the demo. After you are done with the demo, I also have a few quick things to show on Voiceflow. Guys, we'll have a dedicated Q&A session at the end. So please keep on posting your questions in the comments, and We'll take that in a while.
Yeah, so
On
I'm
to you,
gonna
Harsh.
share my full screen. Can you see my screen? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you might need to share a window.
All right, let me stop sharing. Okay, share. Um, okay. How, wait, how do I share a window? I only see slides, video, and image.
So when you click on share screen option, you would see
Oh,
screen
okay.
versus window versus tab.
All right, all right. Okay, so let me share. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the actual screen where I have the prototype. Can you see my prototype screen?
It's loading.
Okay.
Guys, can you see it or is it just me? I see a gray screen.
Yeah, let me know. Am I good to go?
Not yet. I don't see it. Anyone in the audience, can you let us know if you are able to see the screen? Yeah, better to share again.
Window. Okay. Can you see?
Yes,
All
now we
right.
can see.
Okay. So for the purpose of this session, I chose a platform called Voiceflow, and I'll also explain why. And Voiceflow is a very popular and well-known platform for prototyping in a low-code, no-code way, AI agents. It is very similar to Langflow if people have used to it, and it also has workflow capabilities similar to what Langflow offers, or or LangChain offers. You can basically do a lot of things with it. But for the purpose of this session, I just wanted to introduce and showcase something very simple and very, very minimal, but there's a lot of power in this. So, Divya asked me yesterday, hey, can you show something a little more complicated with this, with multiple nodes? And I said, simple is beautiful. And if you're able to do this with minimal implementation, and have a dedicated agent to do this. So in this screen, you can see that I've taken a pre-built customer support agent, and the use case that I'm going to show is called MealMate. So MealMate is the voice AI agent application where you can basically talk to it and ask it for planning a meal, asking for meal suggestions. Hey, what should I eat today? What should I do? This thing. It's a very very well popular use case about meal planning. But the voice version is what I want to show here. So you can basically talk to Jane. Jane is the customer support specialist at MealMate, and you can talk to her as if she's your best buddy, support this thing, and talk to her about what kind of food you want. Now Divya, so let me show the demo and then come back to the slides. All right.
Yep, definitely.
Oh, cool. So Voiceflow platform is you can sign up, and Divya, have you shared the how to document with the audience?
I would do that after the session.
Yeah, so people, I have on how to document where I've listed the steps to replicate or use Voiceflow, and you can basically take it and run it with your ideas, your this thing. There's so much functionality, it's pretty intuitive. If you're used to Langflow, you can do all kinds of things here. So this is the main platform, and you can create projects, which I've seen here. And you do the projects. I've created a project called MealMate, Voiceflow MealMate. And if you open the project, then you come to this canvas, and this canvas has a very simple thing. So you have a start button and a customer support agent. So if you click on agent here, There are a few pre-built agents that you can do, like an email agent, so it shows in the customer support specialist. So how does this really work in the background? You can press run and you can basically execute it, but the power of the agent comes here. It's the prompt, it's instructions. So this instructions, I put a lot of time into it. It's pretty comprehensive. It is starting to, I didn't realize till a few days ago that it has some kind of context. It has some kind of how to deal with situations and things like that. So basically, I believe in the power of this instructions, and that's what makes it work quite in a quite powerful way. Yes, you can have multiple nodes and this thing, but if you have a minimal architecture where you tell in detail how the voice AI agent should respond, should interact, and what kind of personality that it should has. Sorry, personality. How should it respond to different situations like frustration, things like that. So this prompt I'll be sharing in the how to document. You can take a look at it, and this thing. So let me um, go into the working of this. So once I publish the agent here, I can deploy it, and I have a deployed version. So this is the web deployed version. I can do the speech interaction with this. So let's say I do start the conversation. Were you guys able to hear the welcome message from Jane? Can you?
No, Harsha. I wasn't able to hear at least.
Um, okay, let me see. Hello, Jane. How are you?
No.
Are you able to
Uh,
hear?
no, no. I think you might need to share your audio if you hadn't clicked on that option when you were sharing your screen.
Oh, there's a sharing audio.
You might get the option. Yeah.
Okay, where is the sharing audio thing?
You stop sharing and then share again and check out for that audio. It should be in the form of a checkbox,
Okay,
um, which
all right.
lets
Share
you select
screen window.
on the
Okay,
bottom of the thing.
share it. Okay, so it says to share a tab or a screen.
Yeah.
So let me. Okay, all right. So here, cool. Can you see my screen? The
Yes.
Okay. Hello, Jane. How are you?
It seems like your message got cut off. Could you tell me a bit more about what you need help with?
Sure, Jane. I want your help in planning my dinner tonight. I'm having some guests over, and I'm at a loss to figure out what to offer them.
I get that finding the right meal for guests can be tricky. Let's figure this out together. Could you tell me what type of cuisine you're thinking about? And do you have any dietary preferences or restrictions to keep in mind?
So, just to check, Divya, you're able to hear the audio, right?
Yes,
Hello?
Harsha. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm having a conversation with Jane, and Jane's behavior is entirely guided by the super prompt, the instructions that I'm saying here. So I'm going to ask Jane to figure out what's for dinner, and have a natural conversation as if I'm talking to a human. So Jane, I'm having about 4 people coming over, so it will be a total of 6, and all of them are vegetarians. So I'll be looking for vegetarian food choices. And some of them have peanut allergy. Some of them need gluten thing. So can you come up with a menu for dinner tonight that I can cook easily and quickly.
Got it. So you're looking for a vegetarian dinner for 6 people with options that are gluten-free and nut-free. Let me think about some easy dishes that would work well. How about this menu? 1. Stuffed bell peppers. You can fill them with quinoa, black beans, corn, and spices. They're colorful and filling. 2. Vegetable stir fry. Use a mix of your favorite veggies like broccoli.
That sounds great, Jane. Can you give me some Indian vegetarian options? Okay, I got it. I ran out of credits. Anyway, so
This is really helpful. Yeah,
yeah,
with just one node, we're able to create this voice agent which you can interact with. And I
and
can't imagine use cases. And yeah, sorry.
yeah, so I was afraid of that, and the things that you don't anticipate, come over. So I ran out of credits. I was planning to show the voice agent with telephony. So this is through a web, but still, it's not natural. So the capabilities for the demo, you can actually call a number on my phone, and you can talk to Jane, right? Or let me go to the other screen. I showed you. I can even have Jane call you if anybody had a number and phone number that they're willing to share, then Jane can call you and talk to you. But of course, I mean, I'm not sure if it will work right now with this thing. But you can go to a couple of YouTube videos that I have shared. We'll share in the presentation, and we'll show you exactly how you can have this voice AI agent interaction as if you're talking to a human. What do you do? I call Divya on the phone, right? I have a phone number, and the phone number is this 510-567-7590. So if you call that, to execute your code, you can basically talk to her. File account. You can remove this message at any time by upgrading to a full account. Press any key. Yeah. So
That is amazing.
you can see in the demo. I'm sorry, I ran out of credits. I'm sorry about that. But I have the YouTube thing to do. So in short, you can think of a use case scenario. You can think of, let's say here, a meal planner. You can think of a customer support agent. One of the best use cases seen is for service tickets. So you file a complaint or this thing, you want to check what it is, you want to find out more, then you can have an assistant doing, telling you this. You can have somebody scheduling appointments, like say in a doctor's office or things like that, and you can have a conversation with the receptionist. So the gamut of and diversity of use cases of voice AI agents is almost as vast as the AI agent landscape. But if you require the interaction with the real persona, with the real human-like thing, and the touch and experience, this is the way to go. Right now, if I show you the case where you call a number, can you tell whether the entity at the other end is human or not? And if it is really well designed and well architected, it's you cannot say it here. So that's where the promise of voice AI agents is coming, and that's why a lot of interest and the spotlight is there, because they want to expand the reach and interaction of AI agents to a mass population who are more comfortable and convenient, comfortable and convenient in talking to something. People know how to use a phone. A lot of people have smartphones and they're able to do this, than getting into LLM engines and apps and things like that. So 7A asks, what is the agent part? The agent part is that you can think of the architecture as something like this. There is a speech portion which is converted to text. The background is LLM. Here I'm using OpenAI, GPT-4o, in the background. So there is the OpenAI API, and there is a text to speech. The speech to text is called Whisper, and Whisper is the platform that powers ChatGPT voice mode, at least the input part. I'm not sure about the speech to text part. Sorry, that yeah, text to speech. The text is produced by the LLM agent in the background, and this thing. Now, even though there are three components now, the direction where this voice AI agents is headed is speech to speech. That's it. So it's when that speech to speech comes, everything is integrated, and it's going to be so natural sounding that you're going to create agents which are human like and talk like humans. They talk like a human, they squawk like a human, and mostly, if programmed properly, will behave and have the persona of a human. And and that's one of my initiatives, the Turing Test 2.0. And a lot of people may know about Turing Test, but one of the projects I'm working on is to actually test these agents so that you cannot distinguish them from um, humans, the human speech, right? As if you're not a human thing. And I'll showcase in the slides about what exactly do I mean. So yeah, so that's about the demo. Sorry, I ran out of credits, but we can share the I should video videos. You can take a look at it. It's very easy. Think of a scenario. Think of what you want the agent to do. Open up the let me see if I can have the tab here. Open up the agent. Write your instructions like in natural English language. Run it and have fun with it, talking to it. So that's about it. It's as simple as what you do in Langflow. The only thing is, you can talk to it and this thing. As a broader part, I am also doing something called multimodal AI. Sorry, multimodal evaluations, which is a little bit more in the robotic side. There's both voice and responses, but I'm not going to dwell on that. So yeah, so this is the demo part. Let me, if there's any questions I can take. Otherwise, I'll just share some thoughts in my slides.
Thank you, Harsha. Thank you very much. This is really helpful. Let me quickly show the audience one more thing, and then we can move to your evaluation front and slides that you want to share. Works?
Yeah,
All right. So let me know once my screen is up. Able to see my screen, everyone? Harsha, are you able to see my screen?
yeah,
Perfect. So, guys, I see a few questions around how this is different from ChatGPT, right? Um, the answer to that is why would you want to use Na10 or Langflow when you have ChatGPT, Perplexity, etc.? Because you would want to customize the workflow to your particular personal or enterprise use cases. The same thing applies to voice agents. What we just showcased to you was a one node agent. And the thing with voice is, as Harsha showcased, right, it's a lot to do with prompt engineering, making sure that you cover the edge cases, making the prompt engineering for voice agents looks a little different than text agents because you will need them to be empathetic. There is more EQ to it than a typical text agent. So those nuances in prompt engineering are there. And then, like any Langflow, Na10, or text based workflows, you can always customize voice based workflows as well. This is Voiceflow. We have a couple of different platforms for voice, and Harsha has prepared a very beautiful slide on it. I'll be sharing it after the session. But this is Voiceflow, and this is their resources section where you have pre built templates for every use case. You can choose the voice interface from here. You can choose the industry, the domain that you want to play around with. I personally liked this one a lot. It is very detailed, but at the same time, simple. It's not very complicated, so this is the right place to begin with. This is basically a professional AI answering service. They have this entire documentation. There is a very detailed video on how they built it. It's just a 30 minutes video. And if you go through this, you would be comfortable with voice flow by the end of 30 minutes. And you would also be comfortable with creating a very personalized custom flow to your use case. This is basically an AI assistant. Think about it as a receptionist, where in phase one, you talk with the agent. the agent gets information from you. Phase 2, if the question was, if the user question was just related to an information which the agent can give by herself, she would give that information and the chat would end. But if the user needs to schedule an appointment with the company, because this is a receptionist agent or an assistant agent, it goes on to phase 3, which is basically you schedule things with the agent. And then of course each of these agents will have its own set of tools. Everything is drag and drop, there is zero code. You go to things like this. For example, when you click on this, it would add a message node. When you click on listen, it would add a listening mode, so on and so forth. If you click on any agents and you click on edit agent, you would be able to update the agent instructions. You would be able to update the tools that the agent has, the knowledge base that the agent uses, what does the exit conditions look like, and what does the path forward look like. These things might feel a little overwhelming to you if you are completely new to voice flow, but with all these tools, because these are completely low code no code tools, I feel if you are able to spend 2 to 3 hours on the tool, that should be more than enough to make you very comfortable with it. So this is something you can easily, this flow, for example, AI answering assistant flow, is something you can immediately, if you have a very small business or if you want to help someone with a small business, you can immediately lift and shift, and people uh, can start talking to this flow using mobile numbers. So that's the power. Hope that was helpful. Oh, and one last thing, Langflow. I know majority of us from the cohort are very comfortable with Langflow by this point. Langflow, I'm not sure if it has the inbuilt voice agents thing without using code, but I do know that at least in the playground you can connect it to OpenAI, also to 11 labs if you want access to more number of voice variations. And you can instead of text interface, it does provide you with a voice interface. You might want to try that on your existing Langflow workflows.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that, Harsha, I know you wanted to cover something quickly on evaluation, so
Yeah, yeah,
back
yeah.
to you and then we go to Q&A.
Yeah, but I just want to add something to what you just said. So, voice flow, as you said, does come with a standard set of workflows. If conditional logic, branching, and things like that. Voice flow is also integrated with N8N. There's lots and lots of examples on YouTube. I've seen one on finance, investment, this thing. So yes, so it makes it easy to integrate it with other workflow platforms like N8N. I'm not sure about Langflow because I think Langflow and VoiceFlow are pretty complementary and they have different use cases anyway. But yeah, you can do a lot of this with this. There's another platform called Chatbot Builder, which has voice AI agent capabilities. So even though the name says chatbot, it is a voice agent, so it queries the thing here. But I do want to answer one question from my friend Srinidhi Rajan, which says, does the agent come with a standard set of constraints and guardrails? So the answer is yes, but you need to work on it. So if you look at as I showed you, if you look at when you double click on the agent that it provides or the templates, there's a standard prompt in it. And the prompts just give you the structure for putting constraints and guardrails. But when you look at the prompt that I did for MealMate, I put in my own constraints and things like that, right? Like for example, if somebody has a peanut allergy, it knows that don't give peanuts. Somebody says vegetarian, don't have don't suggest anything remotely resembling some non-vegetarian food like meat or eggs or something. And then of course I have a lot of conditions put into handling like frustrations or user emotions and things like that. So they are, yes, so there is a placeholder for constraints and guardrails, and you just specify it like English language thing. The other thing is the knowledge base. The knowledge base, you can think of it as a RAG implementation. So while the agent thinks of responses to a question, we said, let's say you want a meal base, or sorry, recipe book or something like that. And you can configure the knowledge base, put text in it, and then go to the system instructions and say for this condition, refer to the knowledge base. So that's RAG at work. So yeah, so let me share some thoughts about this thing, and and give a highlight this thing. So even though it sounds exciting about doing this end-to-end workflows and agents, my focus is on evaluations, how to make sure that these voice AI agents can work the way they do, how to make them sound realistic like a human, how can you trust them. That's the same thing that you do with AI agents here. So let me share my screen. What do I do? Share my screen again, Divya?
Yep, you'll need to do that. While Harsha brings up his screen, that would mark the end of our segment once he talks through evaluation. Very quickly on the next session we'll have Prashant from our cohort presenting, and we would be, I wouldn't take so much time. The next session, it would be a 30-minute session. We directly dig into the demo. That he is building an amazing AI lease agreement and analyzer from a legal standpoint, which is a very interesting use case. He has built this using Flowwise. Think about it as Langflow, like upper version of Langflow. So Flowwise plus Replit, and that is what we'll cover the next session. Excited for you to be there as well. I would create a LinkedIn event for the next session. I would also pin the next session in the comments of this post. And yeah, that's that. And Harsha keeps on um, sharing amazing information on LinkedIn. So if you do not follow him yet, do follow him. You will see him tagged on my post. Um,
Can you
and
see
yeah,
my
that's that.
can you see my PowerPoint?
I can. It's up.
Okay, cool. All right. So I quickly covered what AI agents are and their innovations. So the current generation of AI agents are LLM integrated, and as much as the innovation and capabilities of LLM evolve, you're going to see amazing capabilities and amazing user interaction with voice AI agents. So voice will become a very commonplace way of interaction with agents. A lot of interest is coming in. YC, the funding is just going through it's a lot of going through the roof. So there are many players, and you can stride it by B2B and B2C. You can check out some of these companies here. I chose Voiceflow. There's many similar things like Synthflow, Poly AI, and 11 Labs, and of course Chatbot Builder. But for today's session, I chose Voiceflow because it's a very simple platform, very similar to Langflow here. Um,
Hey, Harsha, really sorry to interrupt. Do you mind zooming in a little
uh,
for
yeah,
people like me who have to? Yeah.
yeah, I have presentation mode. Is that okay? Better?
Yeah, this works. Thank you.
Yeah. So I showed you the web-based voice AI agent and the telephony thing too. You can try it out. I shared the number, things, but of course, credits, it works in credits, so you may run out of credits like I did. There's a couple of demo videos on YouTube. For example, I'm 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 having. Hi Jane, how are you? Yeah, I'm calling her on Jane on the phone. And lights are up. Yeah, I'm calling her on the phone, and we're having, so you can check it out. You can do something very similar with your use case. Cake, a simple vanilla or chocolate cake to complement the Indian flavors. How does Yeah. So, but my real interest is, as much as it's great to build these use cases and workflows like a lease agent and things. My real interest is in evaluations. And the evaluation for voice AI agents is a little bit more involved than typical AI agents. For example, you want to evaluate whether the system is able to recognize the speech accurately, and whether the speech generated is safe and polite, and all the other things. So the thing is, this is a hard problem for evaluations, and it takes the AI agent evaluations to a whole new level. So I've come up with a framework called evaluations driven development. You see it in the triangle here. So I do the evaluations in what I call data tuples. which is like a data set and a synthetic queries. So I'm translating this into a project called Synthetics. So Synthetics is going to be a platform that will, you know, create users with different voices, with different accents, with with different personalities, and then it will put systems like Mealmate through the through the testing scenarios. It's going to talk in a certain way. It'll capture the results and then evaluate how good the experience, how safe was it, and can you trust this agent. So that's something I'm started off, and I'm evaluating whether to put a standalone or work with another amazing open source AI agent evaluation project called Comet. So the creator of the Comet, Claire Longo, is a friend of mine. So I'm talking to her to see if I can integrate this into this thing, so it will be a very powerful multimodal AI agent testing platform. But the real thing I want to do is what I call Turing test point oh Turing 2.0. So this is the approach, and I'm thinking through the modalities to make sure that I have a way to say I have a way to present and test whether these voice AI agents sounds like a real human, whether they talk, and the speech behavior is like a real human. So once this Turing test comes about, we can achieve the real goal of voice AI agents, that you have a human like actor, and end users will have the satisfaction of talking to what they think is a human person, a real person behind, and they can tell the difference, and ultimately it'll come for a very good user experience, and they can do the things that they want to do as if when they're doing right now, but with intelligence and AI built in. So that's its work in progress now. If you're interested, you can follow me. Post the updates on LinkedIn. That's all I had from my side.
Thank you, Harsha, very much. I think um, we wouldn't have the time to do the Q&A section today, but Harsha, if you would be kind enough to stay for 10 minutes over after the live stream ends and we can together answer some of the questions that has been posted on chat, that would be great.
Sure.
We can do
But
that?
yeah,
Okay.
definitely. So just a quick thing. What do you guys think of it? What do you think of YCI agents in the comments? Just a quick thing. No major thing.
Were we able to convince you enough to go and try this with Voiceflow or with some other tool today? Where did we do a convincing job? Harsha, so there is a real-time lag between what we
Oh, yeah,
say
yeah.
here and yeah, that's a bit of a. But yeah, let us know, guys. Also, let us know your favorite. If you have been tinkering around with voice AI agents, what has been your favorite tool in this domain? Most easiest to use tools so that everyone joining the call can benefit from it as well.
Yeah. Um, the possibilities are endless. I can basically clone Divya's face and have it animated and talk, capture her voice and clone her voice. And if I make this work, and the Divya's voice AI agent passes the Turing test, guess what? This is exactly what I'll be talking to her right now, as if I'm talking to her, in this particular session, and you
Yeah.
wouldn't know the difference.
Harsha, I do have one quick question for you. I was wondering when you ran out of credits, when I use OpenAI models, I run out, like if I load it with $5, I can use it for at least 3 weeks if I'm being very proactive in Langflow, right? How how much is that different from using voice agents in Voiceflow? How much more tokens do they consume?
Yeah, so there are two different credits that you have to buy. One, of course, you have to buy for the LLM model. In this case, OpenAI Playground. I do have some credits there, so that's not the issue here. But VoiceFlow itself wants credits, so it is a tiered subscription plan. That's what I ran out, because
Okay.
I was doing the YouTube videos so yesterday, and I posted it. So yeah, so sorry about that. But anyway, the proof of work is there. Please see the YouTube video. Yes, there are
No, no. No, the question is, Harsha, how like if with $5 on OpenAI model, if I'm using if I'm able to run text-based flows
Mhm.
for say 3 hours continuously, what does that look like for voice-based flows? Is it half the like double the tokens that it utilizes and hence double the money that you need to put in? How does it work?
That's an interesting question.
Have you by any chance gotten to that point where you have to reissue your wallet or
Yeah,
upload your update your
I put $10 in OpenAI maybe 2 months ago. When since
okay,
I
it's
started,
still working.
it is
That's a
still,
good news.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
still there. I think I checked. Maybe I have like $6 left, so I don't think the OpenAI token billing is that high. It's the
got
voice
it, got it,
flow credits that ran out,
got
and
it,
all the things that it does in terms of speech to text, text to speech, and all the integrations. That's where it ran out.
got it. That is yeah, that is great to hear because this is exactly why this trend is happening, right? The inference and compute cost 3 months, 4 months before, if we did the same thing, it would have taken a lot. Um, all right, so I wanted to end it here, but I see a very intriguing question. I'm going to bring this on screen. um, Harsha, do you want to tackle this?
Can we? Yeah, Amit, my friend Amit asks, can we clone voice of a dear family members that are no longer here? Well, it's possible. It's always good to have a person talk in real time and give speech samples. But if you have like, I mean, I don't know, like recordings or videos or some things like that, yes, definitely you can take the speech samples and their voice and clone it. There's some legal and the privacy things, but I suppose it can be handled. But yeah, so if your family members, you are able to get um, I don't know, a minute of their voice sample, yes, you can clone them, and a great platform to clone them is 11 Labs.
Thank you, Harsha. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Same day, same time next week. See you there. Thank you. Tara.